Welcome, everyone. Today we have the pleasure to experience the multi-dimensional images of Ryan Ressler. Polaroid said it best. Ryan embodies the unique combination of the soul of a painter and sculptor, joined with the eye of a photographer. Ryan draws on his formal training as a sculptor and painter to create images that are an intriguing interplay of composition, illustration, and photography. A one-man show on both coasts, including the National Arts Club in New York, clients as impressive as Citigroup, Starbucks, Absolute, McDonald's, and Kohler. He has produced a wide body of editorial work for clients such as Bon Appetit, Chicago Magazine, and Digital Imaging. You will notice how Ryan's process of creativity through problem solving grabs your attention and expands your reality by presenting to you a different perspective. Let us welcome my good friend Ryan Ressler as he shares his unique perspective on creativity and problem solving.
Thank you, Kathy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. This cost me a fortune in stamps. Now, what I'd like to do is have you to close your eyes. Create a space around yourself. Close your eyes. No touching. What I'd like you to do is imagine yourself floating through the floor. Float into the basement. Look at the pipes in the basement. Look at the boiler in the basement. Float through the floor of the basement. Look at the gravel. Look at the pipes. Look at the sewage pipes. Look at the steam pipes. Look at the electrical pipes. And slowly start to come back up now. Come up through the basement floor. Look at the basement again. Now come back up through this floor. Now in your body. Keep your eyes closed. Now I want you to start going up higher. Go through the ceiling here of the first floor. Look around in the second floor. Go through the roof. Now you're outside. Turn around 360 degrees. That's a full circle for us art majors. And look at all the roads. Look at all the signs. Look at all the buildings. Look at everything that's been built. And when you're ready, when you've gone around once, slowly go back through the room. Go back through the first, second floor, and slowly go back into your body. Keep your eyes closed. This will be easier for some of us than others. Try and remember the shoes you put on today. Try and remember the pants or skirts you put on today. Try and remember the shirt or gloves you put on today. Try and remember if you have any jewelry on. Do you have a bracelet? Do you have earrings? Do you have a watch? What I'd like you to do now is slowly open your eyes. See what everyone else is looking. Look at the room, look at the ceiling, look at the walls. Now everything in this room started with a drawing except one thing. Do you know what that one thing is? Cindy?
Us.
That's right. Only we are the only thing in this room that didn't start with a drawing. So everything starts with an idea. Hopefully some of us started with an idea. Became a drawing, and then became reality or a sculpture. So everything is a three-step process with steps. So creativity is the best problem-solving method in the world. But most people aren't aware of it or use it. So I'd like to go use some examples today to show you how creativity can solve problems. The first one would be bridges. Getting from point A to point B and staying dry. Now the first bridges were rope bridges. Everybody's been on a rope bridge, but normally now it's in a theme park. But rope bridges are very limited. You can't put a wagon on it, you can put very few people on it, and it can be cut with a machete like Indiana Jones did in the Temple of Doom. So they came up with bridges that are post and lintel. Posts that we all know of, which are posts to the ground, And the lintel is the thing on top. Basically, Stonehenge, but a bridge in a river. Now the problem is, now you can't navigate the river as well, and every time you have a flood, the bridge goes away. So some Roman, we don't know who, invented the arch bridge. Now the amazing thing about an arch bridge is, there's nothing in the middle of the river. And if you have an elephant standing on top of that arch, the weight of the elephant goes away from the center of the bridge to the sides, which are called abutments. This was such an important concept that 1,000 bridges are still up from the Roman Empire. And the people who drew those bridges are called architects or architects. So that's how creativity solved that problem. I've used it 3 different ways in my career to solve problems for me. So I'd like to go through them, if you don't mind. The first one was, how do I become a national photographer? How do I get recognized for my work? I realized that I had to have a unique body of work. And there was lighting, and there was composition, and there's other things, but everybody hopefully gets their pictures in focus. The only thing I knew that I had that was different is I had a background in fine art. I had a bachelor's of fine arts. So I combined, after being in the business for 10 years, my painting, my drawing, and my sculpture with my photography. And I created mosaics. I created all sorts of things using painting and sculpture. But I needed a propulsion system. So I've been creating posters. I partnered with a paper and printing company. And they would use my images and create posters to give out at paper shows. And I asked them, I said, what would you like to do as far as a paper promotion that promoted my body of work? Since we'd been working together for 10 years, they were very open to it. So the propulsion system I did to get my work out was this. Now this is a body of my work, 12 different images that are each based on a different artist to give it a theme. And it was my unique way of going after work nationally. 25,000 got sent out around the country. This took about 1.5 years, and in that 1.5 years, I flew out to New York and Los Angeles and contacted London. So when this booklet came out, I had reps in 5 different cities. They were all on the back, the name of this, and everybody was happy. Now this booklet, actually, and to become a national, I had one job in mind. This is the thing I am proudest professionally of getting in my whole life, and that was the Kohler job. I wanted this like nothing else. It was the only ad where you got your name above the title. It was called the Artist Series. And I went to the agency, Gray Advertising in New York, and I showed them my portfolio, and they fell in love with it. And they held it for 6 months. Well, luckily I had 9 other portfolios. Otherwise, if they had held this, I would have been out of business 10 years earlier. And they called me 6 months later and said, would you like to do a Kohler ad? I just jumped up around the room. It was one of the happiest days of my life. I remember hugging my wife and telling her how happy I was. And there was only one thing you had to do with this. You got to draw. You got the art director job this yourself. So I would draw it. All I had to do was put the sink, a jacuzzi, and a toilet in the shot. I would draw it. I would send it to the agency in New York, and they would send it to Kohler, Wisconsin, because Mr. Kohler, everyone calls him Mr. Kohler, he has the town named after him. And this went back 3 times. And then I set up what I call installation art. It was an idea of a blue wood nymph, or water nymph, ripping the mirror off of a room, and as she did, there was a sink reflecting in the mirror, and the water started to run uncontrollably. So it was a cross between a fairy tale and a Sorcerer's Apprentice. And the set was 20 feet deep, 20 feet wide, and 20 feet high. And I had sculpted water coming out of the jacuzzi, and I had sculpted water coming out of the sink. And it was going up a stairway where each stair was 50% smaller than the stair before it. So this 20 foot deep looked like it was 40 feet deep. And the set was just a piece of installation art. That's, what more can I say? So I got that, and that was on the back cover of 74 different magazines over a 3-year period. So that's how creativity solved 2 of those problems. The third problem was, what do I do about creating mosaics? Now this problem came up because when this booklet came out, Bon Appetit contacted me. And they said, would you do Harry Potter out of jelly beans? And of course, I did. And I took that to my son's career day, because the first career day I went without nothing. And every kid comes into the room and goes, what are you giving out? I go, giving out? I'm just here to tell you how to become a photographer. And the kids were very deeply disappointed. So next year I bought Harry Potter, and I handed out jelly beans. And I was the hit of career day that year. And as I'm hauling the mosaic out, and it's 4 by 4 feet, as you can see, and it's resin. It's between 40 and 50 pounds. And the principal, I wish he'd asked to help me lift it, said, every kid should have their picture done in jelly beans. And I thought about that, and I thought, that would be a nice thing to do for my son. He'll have it for the end of time, and why not? So the next year, we had a 4 by 4 foot, as you can see, mosaic of my son, Griffin. As his best friend said, hey, Griff, that kind of looks like you. And Griff was really the hit of career day that year. And as I'm pulling it back to my car, the next year the principal goes, you should find a way for kids to make their own. And I thought, well, I'll think about that. So I had my mind open, and just as I was thinking about it, I was thinking about how years ago I had seen, these are made out of Easter M&Ms. And I was in the grocery store, and I didn't know this, and I was shooting for M&M at the time. They did Easter M&Ms. They did pastel blue, pastel yellow, pastel pink, and with white, and then I added the brown, and I did M&M out of M&Ms. So Marilyn Monroe out of M&Ms. So that was one way, and that was the cover of this. But how can I find a way for kids to make their own mosaics? And then a friend of mine, gave me aluminum honeycomb. Now, aluminum honeycomb, you have stood on this, depending on how much you travel by plane, hundreds of times. This is the floor of every airplane. An airplane is a tube. In the middle of that tube is this. This holds you, your luggage, your seat, everybody else. I could crush this this weighs less than a pound here. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, oh my God, this is the solution to my problems. And I went to the same grocery store I saw the M&Ms with, and they had Jelly Belly jelly beans. And Jelly Belly jelly beans fit perfectly in this. And when you fill it up, you don't see the aluminum honeycomb anymore. So I am proud to say at this point, there is a product you can buy using aluminum honeycomb and candy to make your own mosaics. That is called Paint by Candy. Here it is, without the candy. Here it is with the candy. You just open the hinge, pull out the glass, insert the jelly beans. And here's the packaging, Paint by Candy. Every kid now can make their own jelly bean mosaics. So creativity, once again, is the world's best way to solve problems. I hope I've shown you 4 ways today how it has. And thank you very much for coming.